District 58 Board of Education on Monday, July 8th, 2024 at 7 o'clock p.m. at Bel Air School. This meeting is being live streamed for the public on the District 58 YouTube channel. Melissa, will you please call roll?
Member Doshi.
Here.
Member Ellis. Here. Member Hannes is absent. Member Harris.
Here.
Member Olczyk.
Here.
Member Weiner. Here. And Member Hughes is absent.
Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The board will now meet in closed session. Is there a motion to move to closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the district, in accordance with 5 ILCS 120/2C1, and discussion of minutes of meetings lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act, whether for the purposes of approval by the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes as mandated by section 206 5 ILCS 120/2C21. Someone?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. The board will now move into closed session after a short recess. We'll see you again at 7:03 p.m.
Where are we going?
Okay. We're going to go over. To open session. Tonight, members of the audience will have an opportunity to provide public comment to the board later on in the agenda. The board asks anyone wishing to comment to fill out a card and indicate the topic to be addressed. The cards are, these can be placed in the basket on the table to my right.
Yeah, they're
It's
right.
different space. Just want to make sure that the script story works for this new space. And I've allotted 30 minutes for public comment this evening. Up next on the agenda, we have a public hearing on e-learning. This is a public hearing on the renewal of the e-learning program. I'd like to welcome Liz Earhart up to present on that, and then we will move the hearing.
Good evening, board. So part of the agenda this evening is a request for approval of the district e-learning plan. We are renewing or requesting that the board renew our e-learning plan. Minimal changes were made, just a couple of verbiage pieces to our previous plan, which follows the ISD guidelines. It needs to be approved by the ROE every 3 years. We use this plan so that we have flexibility should an e-learning plan be called. If we approve the e-learning plan this evening, it does not mean that an e-learning day needs to take place in case of an emergency. It just means that we have that option available to us. So we do think it's a good idea for the district to continue having access to e-learning should the need arise, especially as we're in our construction season and knowing that our schedule is pretty tight. Of course, anytime that we are requesting the use of an e-learning day, that would be discussed with the board and Dr. Russell in ensuring that all of our plans are in place, sharing information with our teachers, our families in a timely manner whenever possible. But again, asking for that approval this evening just so that we have the plan in place, and that would be approved for the upcoming 3 school years. Does anyone questions regarding e-learning.
At this time, I declare the hearing open to allow members of the audience to comment on this topic. And when wishing to be heard, please stand, state your name, attendance area, and organization, if any, for the record. Hearing none and seeing none, there are no further comments. I now declare this hearing closed at 7:49 p.m. Great. Moving on in the agenda, we move on to our non-action reports. First up is communications. Listed on tonight's agenda are 2 communications received by the board. Are there any additional communications board members would like to share at this time? Seeing none, we'll move on to reports to the board. First up is our superintendent report with Dr. Russell.
Thank you. It's the July meeting, so this won't be as long as our regular reports, but just real quick to give the board and the community an update on our different departments and personnel. We continue to make good progress on hiring for the upcoming school year, and are grateful to our full admin team for their efforts. Our certified positions are nearly all filled. In a time of teacher shortage, I think that's something to be very proud of. We look forward to welcoming 20 new certified staff members in the coming school year, and we're continuing to actively recruit instructional assistants. That's really where the need continues to be in terms of shortage. So if anyone knows anyone or they're interested in themselves who might be listening to the meeting, we are hiring, and we'd love to interview you. In terms of curriculum and instruction, summer learning sessions are in full swing. Session 2 is wrapping up this week, and Session 3 will begin the last week of July. Curriculum materials are arriving and are being distributed to the schools. Despite the construction, I want to compliment Liz and her team for still being able to deliver those materials to the schools because finding a space in many of our schools right now is not the easiest thing to do. One of our goals, though, is always to be ready for the first day of school so no one ever has to wait to learn. We're, believe it or not, just a few weeks away from New Teacher Week, and that's when we welcome all of our new teachers as well as our second-year teachers and several other staff members to begin the orientation to District 58, as well as a heavy dose of professional development. In terms of finance, fiscal year 23-24 ended on June 30th. The auditors were in the district to start their preliminary work on the annual audit for the last week of June. That's where they'll balance out the difference between our cash basis and then our accrual basis. The year-to-date report is not available for this meeting, and that's just because of the timing of when the fiscal year ended and the 4th of July holiday. As soon as those reports become available next week, we will post them on the web for all, and then also share those with the FAC members. And if any member has any questions, we can certainly entertain those in between the next meeting or at the next school board meeting. For technology, summer technology projects are progressing very well. Elementary iPads have been prepared, and Chromebooks for incoming 7th graders will be delivered this week. Again, I want to thank James and his team because there's a lot going on in the district right now. They're doing a nice job with that. And phase 1 cabling installation is also going well, and it continues to be on schedule. For special services, the Downers Grove Roadrunner Soccer Club has again donated about $12,500 to Downers Grove District 58 to enhance the tools and equipment available at our elementary schools to assist our students in developing self-regulation skills. As you're aware, this year the district will implement the zones of regulation curriculum at the elementary level, and we're grateful to the Roadrunner Soccer Club for their continued generosity and support of District 58. As you may recall, the Education Foundation and Roadrunner Soccer Club, in coordination with the Rotary Club, all run the Grove Express Thanksgiving race, and those profits go back to the community. And Roadrunner gives a portion of the profits to not only District 58 but District 99. So we're very grateful for their generous donation. I want to thank Jessica Stewart, who actually is ill tonight, and she does a nice job of coordinating that and making sure that those funds go to our students with special needs or to a program like we're discussing. In terms of facilities, and if you've driven around town, construction is well underway. It was an exciting day at O'Neill today as the storm shelter or the gym walls started to be erected, so you can start to see things being built. What I'd like to share with people is that the beginning work of the summer was all about demolition, and now we're in the process of putting everything back together. I want to thank our partners who are here. We have our Orange representative. They are here from Huffman & Keel and Forge and Partners. And then we also have our construction management firm that is here, Ben Steels, representing Bully and Andrews. We have weekly meetings. They are working, I think, every day this summer with the exception of the 4th of July, including Saturdays and Sundays, to make sure that things get turned around quickly. As you can imagine, things pop up all the time, but they've got a really good team at all the buildings, and things are moving along nicely. We are still on schedule, and any change to that schedule, we will of course communicate communicate with the Board of Education. But I want to thank our partners. It's been really, really well done this summer. I also want to thank Kevin Bardo and Jeff Newstead for their efforts in not only preparing our schools for the upcoming school year, but also navigating 6 schools being worked on at once, which is a pretty big theme. In public relations, before I get to the update for public relations, I want to welcome back Megan Hewitt, who has returned from her maternity leave. Megan, it's great to see you again. I know Faith left things in good hands, but we're very excited to have you back. And Megan has jumped right into it on July 1st, and it's great to have her back. Other than that, that is really the update for all of our departments. Do we have anything else? Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Let's move on to our monthly business and treasurer's report with Mr. Drakefall.
I actually don't have anything other than what Dr. Russell's already shared. You know, this is the year-to-date report coming up once we get that all everything balanced, and if we're busy wrapping up the end and working on the next.
And just a forecast for the board. In August, the tentative budget will be presented to the board, and then in September, the Board of Education will approve that board. We'll make sure that we have the proper 30-day window according to Illinois School Code to make sure that everything goes off accordingly.
Let's move on then to the committee reports. The policy committee has not met since the last board meeting. The legislative committee has not met since the last board meeting. The financial advisory committee has not met since the last board meeting. The DLT has not met since the last board meeting. Health and Wellness Committee has not met since the last board meeting. And we'll move to the SASS report with Dr. Russell again.
And SASID, really the only report that I have for you is Kim Dreyer, who's the new executive director. She is just starting. She started on July 1st, although she was working before that. In addition, one other add-on, as I've discussed with you before, the SASID board has approved the budget for next school year. We did that a little ahead of time just because then the member districts will be approving their budgets, and we need that number from SASID. We did pause that process because we were concerned about the steep increases that SASID was proposing for the upcoming school year. The board really did pause that work, encouraged SASID to go back and really sharpen their pencil and put their increases in line with inflation, to which they did. And so we're very pleased for that. I think one of the things we're all dealing with right now in school districts is rising costs and how do we control them. But certainly SASID should be in the same position that we are, only being able to raise a certain amount and not up to 18 or 20%. So SASID's increases are now in line with what we're seeing in terms of their cost and how that gets spread out amongst the member districts.
What was driving that additional cost that they moved back?
That's a great question. So we were, for those of you who didn't hear, Greg, what was the cause of the initial recommendation for an increase? One of the things that SASID was doing, in addition to just their normal budget, was recommending a lot of staff positions get created, and then additionally keeping other staff positions that would go away in a year. And while that is a nice model, it's a luxury that no member district could afford, neither can SASID's board. And so we challenged SASID's board to come up with a model that didn't disrupt the integrity of the services that they deliver, but also to live within their means, because certainly we couldn't afford an 18% increase. That was the average. Ours would have been 24%. Now that number is now around 8%, which is more reasonable and in line with what we're seeing.
Any questions on the SAS report? All right, we have no discussion items. We are not going to take a recess. That's after public comment. We'll move into public comment. This is an opportunity for members of the audience to share public comment with the board, but it is not intended to be a time for members of the public to enter into a dialogue with the board. Issues raised during public comment may be added to future agendas or addressed by administrative staff as appropriate. The board has allotted 30 minutes for public comment this evening. We ask you to keep comments to a 3-minute limit to allow everyone an opportunity to speak. At this time, have we received any cards? No cards. We've received 0 cards. Does anybody in the audience wish to address the board? Okay. As there are no comments, then we will skip over recess and we'll move on to the approval of minutes. Are there any suggested revisions to the minutes as presented in the packet of materials? If not, is there a motion to approve the minutes of the June 10th, 2024 regular meeting as presented? Is Second. All right, any discussion? All right, let's see. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries to approve the minutes of the June 10th, 2024 regular meeting as presented. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the June 10th, 2024 closed session meeting or keep them permanently closed for reasons of confidentiality?
So moved. Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Let's see. Moving on to the consent agenda. Are there any items a board member would like to have considered separately? If not, pause for a second. Okay. Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of the personnel report and financial statements consisting of a list of bills and summary?
So moved. Second.
Melissa, will you please call roll?
Member Weiner. Aye. Member Doshi.
Aye.
Member Ellis. Aye. Member Harris.
Aye.
Member Olchen.
Okay, the motion carries. The consent agenda has been approved as presented in the packet materials.
I am very pleased to report that in the consent agenda, we just hired our new assistant principal at Herrick Middle School, and I'd like to introduce her to the board members, the audience that's here tonight, and anyone who might be watching at home. District 58 recently concluded a competitive interview process to identify a new assistant principal for Herrick Middle School. We are pleased to recommend Ms. Elizabeth McDonald to fill this role, and we'll ask the board, obviously, for the formal approval that you just gave. Ms. McDonald spent the first 17 years of her career at Bryan Middle School, a 6th through 8th middle school in Elmhurst District 205. While at Bryan Middle School, she served as an instructional coach, 6th grade team leader, science department chair, interim K-12 math and science coordinator, and a general education teacher. In addition, Ms. McDonald has most recently served as the assistant principal of Edison Elementary School, Field Elementary School, and the Madison Early Childhood Center, also in District 205. The interview team spoke very highly of Ms. McDonald and was impressed with her child-centered approach, her calm, professional demeanor, and the variety of educational roles she's experienced. Ms. McDonald earned her Master of Science in Educational Administration from Concordia University and her Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Some of the board members may like that. Please join me in welcoming Ms. McDonald to Herrick in District 58. We're very excited.
Thank you, Dr. Russell. Thank you to the Board of Education. I am so honored and humbled and thrilled to have this opportunity. Denver School just has a reputation of excellence, so I'm glad to serve alongside our students and staff and get to know everyone better and work to create a place where our students can thrive.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you to the Herrick team members who are also here tonight. That was nice of you to come out.
Move on to the action portion of our agenda. First up is the Roadrunners Soccer Club donation. Is there a motion to accept the donation of $12,573 from the Roadrunners Soccer Club?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
Thank you. Just thank you for the support.
And we will definitely share that with Roadrunners, and whenever we get a donation, we always write a thank you card to that organization as well. So we do that.
Melissa, will you please call roll?
Member Weiner. Aye. Member Doshi.
Aye.
Member Ellis. Aye. Member Harris.
Aye.
Member Olchen.
So short. Okay. The motion is carried to accept the donation of $12,573 from the Roadrunners Soccer Club. Up next, the e-learning program renewal. Is there a motion to approve the renewal of the District 58 e-learning plan through the 2026-2027 school year?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? I will just, everybody knows how I feel about this, so you won't be just surprised to know that I'm not supporting it. I think that we've seen it in action. It hasn't worked out. I guess I'm speaking personally as a parent. It hasn't worked out for my child the way I predicted that it wouldn't work out for a lot of special needs children, generally speaking. And I understand and I respect the reason why we're supporting it during construction, but it's still something that, as a principal, I'm against. I will be voting against it. But like I said, I respect you bringing this to the board, Kevin, and I think that I understand why you think this is important for us. Any other comments? Okay, Melissa, will you please call roll?
Member Weiner. Aye. Member Doshi.
Aye.
Member Ellis. Aye. Member Harris.
Nay.
Member Olchek.
The motion carries to approve the renewal of the District 58 e-learning plan through the 2026-2027 school year. The surplus equipment, a file cabinet, and a floor machine. Is there a motion to designate as surplus the items listed in the attached memo?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Let's do a roll. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries to designate as surplus the items listed in the attached memo. Playground mulch. Is there a motion to approve the playground mulch proposal for the attached locations to Langton Group of Woodstock, Illinois at a cost of $35,700? Second. Give me a second.
Second.
Okay. Melissa, will you please call roll?
Member Ellis.
Aye.
Member Harris.
Aye.
Member Olchek.
Aye.
Member Weiner. Member Joshi.
Aye.
Motion carries to approve the playground mulch proposal for the attached locations to Langton Group of Woodstock, Illinois at a cost of $35,700. Lastly, the resolution for dismissal of custodial maintenance employee for reasons other than reduction in force. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution regarding the dismissal of custodial maintenance employee for reasons other than reduction in force as presented?
Second.
Any discussion? Melissa, will you please call roll?
Member Ellis. Member Harris.
Aye.
Member Olchek.
Aye.
Member Weiner.
Aye.
Member Joshi.
The motion is carried to adopt the resolution regarding the dismissal of custodial maintenance employee for reasons other than reduction in force as presented. Moving on to the construction consent agenda. Are there any items a board member would like to have considered separately? If not, is there a motion to approve the construction consent agenda consisting of the items as presented in the packet of materials? The moving services for Henry Puffer and Hillcrest, the bid group number 1, early release equipment for phase 2 elementary schools, and the middle school projector installation alternate bid.
Second.
Okay, Melissa, will you please call roll?
Member Ellis.
Aye.
Member Harris.
Aye.
Member Olchek.
Aye.
Member Weiner. Member Joshi.
Aye.
Okay, the motion carries. The construction consent agenda has been approved as presented in the packet of materials. Announcements. Looking forward to a special board meeting right here on July 9th at 5 p.m. July 29th at 5 p.m. And then there's our next regular board meeting will be Monday, August 12th at 7 p.m. That location is TBD.
To be determined, we're hoping to be in the new Village Hall. They're running a little bit behind schedule waiting for elevator approval, but the village does have a meeting scheduled for themselves the week before, so we're hoping to be in the new Village Hall, but we'll keep the board updated on what's going on. But really, we just had a chance to tour the new building today. The only thing they're waiting on now until they can all move in is the approval for the elevator, so that's what there's some components that they're moving on. Once those are in, then we can start. So they're a little behind schedule, but hopefully they'll get those parts and be able to move in very soon. They were working on the elevators when we were there today, so we hope it moves along.
All right, then is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. The meeting is adjourned at 8